is going on, everybody? Welcome to a brand new type of video. If you guys haven't guessed already, my new hobby is keeping aquariums and fish. That's probably the last thing you guys would have guessed. And I know what you're thinking, like, oh my god, like, this is his hobby. It's just some dumb fish. And honestly, guys, that's kind of what I thought about keeping aquariums as well. But honestly, there was so much stuff I didn't even know about when it comes to fish and aquariums. I got to give some credit to one of my friends, Tyler, in one of my college classes. Honestly, he's the one that turned me on to the idea. He kept fish and some saltwater fish at his house, and he was showing me some pictures and videos. I was like, man, that's kind of cool. And then, guys, you know how it goes from there. You go home, you watch some YouTube videos. I didn't realize how many, like, aquarium YouTubers there are. There's so many of them, and they all have different kind of things they post videos on, like a bunch of different fish. Some of them show off some different stores. Some of them have some cool tank ideas. Some of them post, like, informational stuff, like how you should keep a fish. And after I got sucked deep, I mean deep into the rabbit hole of aquarium videos on YouTube, I was like, oh my god, there's so many cool things you can do, so many options. I thought it was just, you know, that goldfish, but I had no idea. It just took me like 1 or 2 trips to PetSmart and Petco, and I was like, oh my god, there's so many different fish you can have. And honestly, Petco and PetSmart, those are just kind of like scratching the surface. They've got like the bare minimum when it comes to fish. I didn't know there were local fish stores and all that. Maybe I was just being naive. But anyways, after listening to my friend talk about it and going to local pet stores and watching tons of videos, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to give this a shot. It sounds really fun. And as you can see from the video, I have 2 tanks now. So I must have really liked the first tank pretty well to go ahead and do a second one. But I realized there's just so much fun stuff. You get to pick like the substrate, which is like the bottom of the fish tank, the gravel and stuff like that. There's so many different options for that. There's so many different options for plants. You can decorate with fake plants, live plants, and there's a million different types. There's so many, like, you can see there's a huge castle in mine. My girlfriend loves Harry Potter, so she's like, we gotta get the Hogwarts castle, even though I don't even think that's what it is, but it's a castle nonetheless. And what it is, guys, is you're kind of creating your own ecosystem and environment, or like almost like your own planet for these fish to live in. And the whole process ended up being so much fun. I got kind of addicted to it. So as you can see, I went with a second tank, and we're going to keep that one a little bit secret. In another video, I'll show you guys what's going on in that tank. It's actually really cool. I'm really excited. I had some pretty unexpected stuff happen within my first couple months of having my 20-gallon tank. And the big one is a 20-gallon, the smaller one is a 10-gallon. So in my opinion, guys, this hobby is so much more fun than I thought it would be. It's not just decoration, it's not just throw some food in there. It's a little more work than you'll think it is. But to me, it pays off in the end because I just think they're so much fun to do. And never in a million years did I think I'd be getting into aquariums. It's just sort of this crazy thing that happened in 2019. But I kind of have big plans. As I was watching these aquarium YouTubers, I noticed there's so many different types of videos you can make on them. And I figure, you know what, like, why don't I give it a shot? It's not for the money or anything like that, or to get successful on YouTube. I just think it'll be really fun making videos on different fish tanks, different stocking ideas, different fish stores and stuff like that. And maybe in the future, like as we get some money, we might be able to build a fish tank or 2 and like set it up, and you guys can see that whole process on YouTube. It's actually really quite cool to see the process. I have some crazy ideas for the future. Ultimate goal is to have like a huge saltwater reef tank, but that can get kind of expensive, and I don't want to have like a huge tank and then move into a new house or anything like that. So that one's a little farther in the future. But I see a lot of people have like what's called a fish room, and they just have a ton of tanks. I think that would be really cool to have like a little shed in your backyard, or like a little room in the basement with a bunch of different tanks and crazy fish. Every time I have people over to my house, like, they love looking at the fish tanks. And I only have a few different types of fish, and I just hear, wow, that one's so cool, or what's that orange one? So in this tank, I have a Dalmatian Molly. It's really cool. It was way wider when I got it. It has like almost completely gone black, which I think is crazy. I didn't know fish change color. That was something else I had to learn too. But she loves these pellets. We're calling her Clara for now. And then the orange and white one, his name is Trevor. That is a swordtail. I got a couple neon tetras in here and a couple of corridor catfish. Those guys are really cool. This whole 20-gallon setup was actually decently cheap. I mean, it's not insanely cheap. It did cost like somewhere in the range of $150 to $200. But that came with the tank, the filter cartridges, heater, thermometer, the gravel, the fish, the decorations. And then from there, the cost is actually pretty minimal. Just, it doesn't use a whole lot of electricity for the lights or anything like that. So you gotta have like a decent chunk of money to get started, but nothing crazy. There's definitely more expensive hobbies than this one. But after everything is kind of set up and running and everything, it's not as expensive as you think it would be. Well guys, that does it for my aquarium video. I just wanted to kind of show you guys what I've been into for the last 4 or 5 months. It's really been a fun time. I plan on doing a ton of different aquarium videos. Expect a bunch of them over the coming months. I'm really into this hobby and there's a ton of different videos I can post on this subject. But also expect Clash Royale. I've already recorded like 3 new Clash Royale videos to come out soon. Just gotta edit those. And those will be out in no time. But anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this one and I will see you in the next one.